everybody. Welcome back to Resistance to Existence. This is episode 3, I think, with my roommate Jordan. He was in the first episode. He's probably going to be a regular guest on here, / co-host. This episode, we get into a lot of things. We talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender 2, so I would say spoilers, but it's like a 12-year-old show, so no. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I think it's still on Netflix. We also talk a lot about bad words, a specific word. The word is faggot, and I looked it up. It doesn't seem to violate the community rules to talk about the word, so YouTube, if you're listening, we do say that word. So don't ban us or anything, because we don't actually call anybody that. We just talk about the word and what's odd about it. So if I do get in trouble, I'll censor it, but as of now, I'm not going to censor it. Again, this podcast isn't really meant for kids, but if you happen to be underage and you're watching, this one doesn't feature any kind of sexual topics, so we should be good. Anyway, enjoy, and let's welcome Jordan back to the podcast. Jordan, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay.
We're good. Alright, stop. I gotta do a sound thing. Ready?
Why'd you have to do that?
Shh. Stop talking so I can get the ambient sound of the room. Stop. Just let me record the room so I can take out the bad sound later.
Okay.
That's good. There. That's so I can see it when I'm going through the levels.
Okay.
Alright. We're recording.
Yeah.
We're back with Jordan.
And Lee. We just said that like... I'm actually Jordan.
Well, I'm Jordan. Who are you?
Very gay version of me.
So me.
You're Bizarro me.
You're not the first person to say that to me.
You're just Bizarro.
I'm just Bizarro in general. I'm the
Homo
matching. What?
You're like Bizarro Homo sapien.
A Bizarro human?
Yeah, you're just Homo Bizarro.
Homo Bizarro. It's like the Wile E. Coyote thing. Like I'm running and then it just ding! Yeah. Homo Bizarro. Yeah. Alright. So, we were talking and Jordan...
actually, I did not want to do this podcast.
No, Jordan's tired.
Yes, I have oatmeal to eat.
You can still eat your oatmeal. But...
I have to focus, Lee.
You have to speak up is what you have to do, motherfucker. The
okay,
last podcast was too quiet.
Was it?
Yeah, I had issues.
Well, maybe you should get a better microphone.
This is a great microphone. You're just quiet, and you know that.
How much did you spend on this microphone?
$75.
That's not a great microphone.
It's great compared to the alternative.
Oh,
okay, you want to know
the alternative?
Do you know what the pricing points on microphones are?
Yeah.
What is it?
Wait.
Like, do you know the price ranges between, like,
oh,
shitty, good, and great?
Yeah, like, I got a decent compressor mic for my dad. It was on sale for, like, $120. But that was, like, the low end. Yeah. That was, like, a good deal on a low end, high end.
See, this is a low end, medium end. This is like a good, just beginner mic.
I guess.
Well, no, so... The options were, for podcast mics, if you want to get a shitty mic, it's like the Blue Snowball, which is what me and my buddy used to use for our YouTube channel. I think he still has one. But that's like $30. This...
Well, those are just crap. There's not even a point.
Well, yeah. This, if I get a foam guard for it, is considered a medium range. $75 to $80. This was on sale. The next step up, the like high-end podcasting mic, is like $200.
No, I get that.
And I'm not... This isn't a quality production. I don't have sponsors.
I wouldn't even say $200. I'd say like $150, and then the next step would be like to make it worth it would be like $400 or $500.
I've seen some for $8, but those ones have like auto noise cancellation and stuff like that.
I'll give you credit. At least you're not recording with a potato like most white dudes making a podcast.
Yeah, well, I used to, so this is just me learning. But it's all right for what it is. But you have to speak up. Jordan.
I am speaking up.
You are naturally soft-spoken, though. I'm barrel-chested, so I just speak loud.
Oh, that's... Am I naturally soft-spoken?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're very quiet.
That's interesting.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I know. And that's something I've actually kind of discovered as I became an adult. Because my whole childhood, it was, shut up, Jordan, you're too loud. like, Jesus Christ, shut up, you're loud. And so my whole childhood, I was like, man, I am so loud. And then, like, I started, like, going out into the, working and meeting different people. And then I started, like, because I always had this, like, natural perception of, like, oh, I'm just a loud person, so I have to keep it down. Because...
See, I heard that too when I was a kid, but I didn't... I just can't keep it down. And then I remember my mom took me to the hearing doctor because she thought I couldn't hear. Because she's like, you don't know that you're this loud? And I was just like, I didn't know I was being loud.
I didn't know I was that loud.
Yeah, pretty much. But the doctor checked my hearing and she's like, yeah, you're fine. And then she just kind of looked at me.
You're fine, you're just retarded.
And pretty much, she just looked at me and she looked at my mom. She's like, you know he's barrel-chested, right? And she's like, what? She goes, yeah, his voice just carries.
What this nurse from the 50s?
No,
like, you have your barrel-chested young man.
This was a doctor. This wasn't a nurse. Oh. No, this was like well, they were a hearing specialist, but like I assume that
a hearing specialist is telling you about your chest.
They went to medical school. You learn about the chest there, I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a kid, but I was told I was barrel-chested, and when I got older and I started having physicals for school and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're barrel-chested," and I'd be like, "Okay, I guess that's why I'm loud." I don't know. I had when I was in choir in school, my music teacher said, "Oh, your voice carries. You got a great voice," and I was like, "Cool."
Okay.
But I never learned to be quiet.
Back to Jordan's soft-spoken, effeminate soy boy voice.
That's not what I said. You don't have a soy boy voice.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know guys who sound like they should be girls. And it's like
that's. I feel bad. Like there's people that like drag it on. Like I work at the coffee shop, and like but then there's people that are just dudes that they just have that voice, and it sucks. It must suck.
I mean, work with what you got.
Yeah, but that would be worse than being really short. Because at least if you're like a Danny DeVito short, you're still a man.
So you're telling me like, okay, a 6'4" guy with a high pitched voice isn't as much as Danny DeVito.
No one would respect Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson if he like came out on stage and was like, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?"
Actually, I think I'd be more afraid if he was just.
Well, you'd be afraid, but you wouldn't.
I know what I mean. Is I think I'd be more like, this guy probably knows what he's doing because he's confident enough to come out here with that shitty voice.
But there's a reason you don't see people like that because they're not confident.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Those genes get bred out.
Joe Rogan has a kind of high voice.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, he has a higher pitched voice. He doesn't have an effeminate voice. That's what we're talking about.
I thought you were talking about high pitch.
Okay, well,
because I got a higher pitch too than most.
There's
guys.
A difference. Okay, like high pitched, and then effeminate high pitch.
Yeah, I got you.
And then that's right. Effeminate high pitch is maybe a little worse than like squeaky high pitch.
Sorry, I had to get some water. I was joking.
Oh, you gotta hydrate.
Got my hydro flask.
No, you don't.
No, it's not.
Literally just a shitty plastic water bottle.
I got it when I was working.
Hap.
Yeah, for Holland America. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. There's a lot of comedians like the new agey like PC comedians that talk like that though.
It's because they're gay.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying those people exist in the media. They're just annoying as fuck. Yeah,
and also they know how to display it because there's like. I should make like a graph for this. There's an actual way where like you can have a higher like right borderline effeminate voice, but it's not bad as long as depending on how you carry it.
I think it depends on
your charisma.
I think it depends on your tone and your accent too, because like if you think of some,
or if you're British.
Or if you're British, yeah. Or if you think of some cowboy movies, there's always the the high pitched yeehaw kind of guy, and he's always talking a little higher than everybody else. But
yeah,
you don't
accent's a big thing.
Yeah, you don't disrespect him because that's just Larry.
Yeah.
Know? Like, you don't really care about
Larry.
That's just Larry.
Yeah,
He's a weirdo. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing at the barn at 2 a.m. with that bucket, but...
Don't worry about it.
Have you seen that video with the guy, like, looking at I think it was miniature horses, and he and his wife were both into bestiality, and he's like, oh, what a rush.
Oh.
And what was he...
Jordan,
what was his term? He said, like, just the right height, no bucket required.
Oh! Yuck.
I think Ethan in H3 has talked about him.
Probably. I haven't watched Ethan in a while. I haven't had time.
He and that simp asshole iDubbbz.
I like iDubbbz.
No,
as much as I joke about him being a simp.
He's not. It was all a big plot. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, so I follow this guy who I don't remember his name, but he does like I signed up for this, so you don't have to kind of things. And so, like, he signed up for Belle Delphine's OnlyFans.
What do you mean, so I don't have to? What if I want to?
Well, no, it's more like for the people who aren't complete idiots. It's more for the people.
Hey,
it's more for the people who are like, I'm curious about this, but I don't want.
Judging my lifestyle?
What do you have Belle Delphine's OnlyFans? Because if you do, I'm judging you. She's a troll. She's never going to show you her pussy. It's not going to happen.
Why do you have to break it to me like this? Like, you're just an asshole.
I guess this is gonna have to be another age restricted video, but anyway.
No. I think no. You're right, Lee. All ages need to know they're never gonna see Bella Define's pussy.
Why do you say it like that? It's not Bella Define.
I don't know how to say it.
It's Belle Delphine.
See, that's the problem with me, Lee.
You don't know how to say Belle? She's a Disney princess.
That's okay.
As for the Delphine, I understand that.
If I read something like online but never hear people say it, like I might hear somebody say it.
I heard her name before I ever saw it.
Okay, like if I read if 90% of my information on a word is from reading it, I'm probably gonna say it completely wrong.
That reminds me of my brother.
Like plaid.
Played.
What was it? Like, I'll just say...
Well, that reminds me when we were kids...
I'll just fuck up words.
My brother... This was before Minecraft, by the way. But my brother and I, we were playing a game. I don't remember what. But at one point, I said something to the effect of, like, oh, I'll just get some iron and make a sword. And he was like, get some what? And I said, iron. You know, like an iron sword. What swords are made of? And he goes, do you mean iron? Because no one had ever said iron out loud to him before.
Iron.
And so he had only read of iron in books.
This is my iron sword.
Yeah, he'd only read of like iron mining and stuff like that. So he thought it was iron. And it wasn't until I said it out loud that he was like, it's iron. And we had to go to Google and because I thought I was crazy.
That's ironic.
It's pretty ironic, yeah.
Okay.
Outing him on the podcast.
Oof. Okay, bubble butt.
But anyway, this guy, he does like deep dives into things. It's like, because I'm curious, but I'm not going to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see...
That stuff is fun to see. It's like seeing the people like...
It, but I don't want to spend money on it.
Yeah.
So he goes, I signed up for Belle Delphine's Instagram and or her OnlyFans or whatever. And then he goes, I signed up for iDubbbz girlfriend's OnlyFans.
Oh.
And apparently he says, and he showed pictures, and he goes, this is tamer than her Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, Belle Delphine's isn't. You can actually see some cool stuff on there, but...
cool stuff.
Yeah, it's neat. But he went on iDubbbz girlfriend's OnlyFans. He's like, this is a scam. There's nothing on
it's
here.
Completely a scam.
He's like, he goes, follow her Instagram. There's more raunchy photos on there than there are here.
iDubbbz and his girlfriend are raking it in.
Oh, yeah. While the Sims are just throwing money.
They fooled us all.
Yeah, I respect it. Dude, if I was a pretty girl, I'd do the same thing.
Lee.
I would.
Lee, you're not a pretty girl.
No, I'm not. I'm saying if I was. This is called a hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
If I was a pretty girl, but you're not. Yes, this is not reality I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you never know with you.
Well, you think I'm a girl? I'm not. I can show you my dick.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Here, let me pull it out for you.
No.
There it is.
That's just your foot with gout.
I sometimes worry about gout.
Oh, why do your feet crunch when you walk?
Is that what... I don't actually know what gout looks like. I've only ever heard of it.
I don't know what it looks like. I think it has to be really bad for you to see it. But a guy at my work had gout, and it was really painful for him. He couldn't really walk.
A friend of mine got gout, and we call him barbecue foot.
Oh,
because you get it eating like barbecue foods and shit like that.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, Jordan just finished.
I just
Avatar
finished it
after having never watched it.
Yeah, it's something I, heard about, wanted to watch for a while, but
I bothered him about it for the longest time.
I never had any friends that had seen it, and then it was available on Netflix, so watched it, and it was amazing. I'm never gonna watch the movie. I've seen
Don't
enough.
bother.
I've seen enough YouTube clips.
What movie? What are you talking about, Jordan?
I don't know.
It doesn't exist.
But man, it's just such a
Who's
good.
your favorite character?
Who's my favorite character? That's tough.
It is tough. It took me a long time to figure out who my favorite character is.
I'm pretty sure I know your favorite character.
Who?
Uncle Iroh.
No. He's one of my favorites, but he's not my favorite.
Who's your favorite?
Guess again.
I'm just gonna keep guessing. Just tell me.
It's Zuko.
Okay.
I relate to Zuko a lot. I didn't come from a great family. Like, not saying my dad's a genocidal maniac or anything, but...
Oh, okay. I'm glad you clarified. I was just going to assume...
I just mean, like, my dad and I never saw eye to eye. I didn't really get along with my siblings, and I was a little lost growing up. Didn't really have anyone help me out, and it wasn't until I was a teenager that I actually, like, found some role models who offered me some sage advice and kind of helped me to step away from my family and now that I'm an adult, like I'm reconvening with my family and we're getting along much better, but kind of helped me just to become my own man. And I also had a lot of rage issues when I was a kid, and I just related to Zuko a lot.
That makes a lot of sense.
When Avatar was coming out, though, I watched it and I thought Aang was the best, but I was also a little kid when it came out, so I was like, duh. But now that I'm an adult, I realize I have way more in common with Zuko than any other character on that show. So I really like Zuko. Uncle Iroh is definitely like a second favorite, though. Dude, he's great.
He is. He's amazing.
He's the best character.
He's
the best character.
Like completely. Like
there's no debate. That's why sometimes when I ask people who are fans of the show, who's your favorite character, I say besides Uncle Iroh, because almost everybody agrees he's the best character. Yeah. So other than Uncle Iroh, who do you think's your favorite?
Whenever I think of one, I always feel like I'm forgetting other people.
Well, side characters don't necessarily count. I'm talking about like the main dozen characters that there are.
I really like Toph. She's just cool, but she's like the perfect amount of crazy, and she kind of added that element that the group needed.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Of like perspective. And plus, I thought it was awesome how they used like her blindness as like a part of her character. Because normally, because a lot of TV shows try to do the whole like, this person has a disability, but we made it their superpower. But with that, it actually was like good. Like they actually melded that idea very well, which isn't normally done.
I like Toph. She was one of my favorites when I was a kid. She still is one of my favorites. Until somebody pointed out that she's a Daredevil ripoff.
What?
Daredevil, the superhero, the comic book hero.
But how's it a rip? Oh.
Because he feels the world around him. And...
It's not that's not a ripoff though.
I mean,
that's a general theme with like blind people being able to do things. It's not like she's like using echolocation.
Well, there's actually there's a little boy who can do that.
Yeah.
He can feel like vibrations in the room.
Yeah.
Walk around and see quote unquote stuff because of it.
No, I get that, but I wouldn't say it's a Daredevil ripoff at all.
I'm not saying it is a ripoff. I just thought it was kind of funny that somebody would say that. Because I hadn't even thought about it. Because she's such her own character that you don't really think about her being like Daredevil. You just think it's Toph.
Yeah.
Toph's her own thing.
I wouldn't even compare them.
So you like Toph? Who's your least favorite character, or the character you don't really care that much about?
Katara got annoying.
You don't like Katara?
Okay.
I fucking love Katara.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll explain this. I like Katara in terms of like imagining myself in the group, and her positive aspects and as an individual person if she was a real person. But in terms of like liking, it's like having your mom around.
She is
like,
the mom.
It's like, I don't like that feeling. Like, I don't want that in a woman.
Well, you also don't get along with your mom too well.
No, I wouldn't say that, but in terms of like, it depends on the current dynamic. Like, we get along great now. It's when I was her kid that we didn't get along great.
See, me and my mom got along just fine, so I like mom friends. Not that I want them to be my mom.
Yeah.
But I find a certain appreciation for that kind of person.
Like, during that whole episode where, like, her and Toph were squaring off, like, normally I think it's expected for the audience to be kind of, like, split, but for me it was like, yeah, Katara, you're being a bitch. Like, shut up. And then that's what, like, the whole play episode 2, where it's like, I don't go on about hope and, like, in these long speeches, and it's like, shut up. Like,
yeah. Katara can be annoying. I like Katara, though. Okay, so this was an important question when the show was coming out.
Okay.
This was the topic of many debates on Tumblr, and Reddit didn't even exist back then, but if it had, it would have been a debate on Reddit.
Oh, no.
Who did you ship Katara with? Aang or Zuko?
Aang.
Good man. That's the correct answer.
Because, okay, here's the thing.
That's the correct
There's
answer.
the whole, like, oh, Zuko's older, blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of...
He's a bad boy.
Yeah, but that doesn't fit at all. Because with Katara's personality, it's a yin-yang thing. Her personality fits with Aang's more feminine nature, where Zuko being the way he is... It's like how I wouldn't work with Katara, because that would just get annoying. And
you would be like Toph and Katara. I feel like you have a lot of Toph's qualities in terms of like independence and hard-headedness.
Like, it wouldn't work at all. And I feel like the only thing fueling the whole Zuko-Katara ship is, like you said, like, oh, he's a bad boy, blah, 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 whatever. But it doesn't actually work.
There's a meme I saw where this guy said basically anyone who shipped Aang and Katara are in healthy relationships, and anyone who shipped Zuko and Katara have daddy issues.
Well, it also goes with my... It's funny, like, how... I told you how my ex-girlfriend was a lot like May. Mm-hmm. Like, it was kind of funny seeing that, like...
like seeing Zuko try to handle that.
That was me. Like, I'm not even joking. Like watching that was like, holy shit, how did I not see this sooner? Oh. That was me for a while.
See, and my ex-girlfriends are none of the characters in the show.
Because they don't exist.
No, because my ex-girlfriends are terrible. I don't know why, but I seem to attract crazy people. You keep asking me a question that has now become like a staple in my mind, and it's probably actually going to end up helping me, but it's how do you find these people?
It's true.
Because I don't realize until after that, like, oh, I shouldn't have been with this person.
Okay, I think a lot of that comes from, if you want to get psychological, it comes from, like, our cultural dynamic of, like, as a kid, like, oh, you go to school, and being alone means you suck. Because obviously you suck because no one's with you. Mm-hmm. And so you need a social group. And so it's like Monopoly. You don't... I love how this analogy is going. You just buy all the shitty properties when you land on them. You don't wait.
You don't wait for the good property.
You don't hold your money. You're just like, oh, thank God I got, Baltic Avenue.
That's less of what I was doing. That's a good analogy for...
I'm not saying that specifically for you.
No.
But
that's
just
a great
general
analogy for what a lot of people do, especially young people when they get in relationships. What I was more doing was like... How do I explain this? It was like playing Minesweeper. In a way, like I was... I don't have a great... You've never played Minesweeper, but I was...
Yes, what, you just look at me and you're like, that dude's never played Minesweeper.
I had to explain how to play Minesweeper to you, and you still didn't get it. Do you remember that?
I do. Okay, that doesn't mean I won't understand your analogy.
Okay, so the analogy is that when you're playing Minesweeper, when you find a 1 in a corner, you're like, oh, the mine's here, and you click there and you go on. But at some point, you're going to hit a 6. and like a 3 and like a 2, and you're gonna have to go, the mine is most likely here, but it could be there. My dating strategy is more like, let's see what this does. Like, it's more about it's about practice.
It's like me playing Minesweeper when I was 8. You're just clicking boxes.
In the beginning, yes, but at this point in my life, I've gone through enough bullshit to be able to go like, not that one.
Yeah,
that's definitely a mine. But like,
but you had to land on the mine first.
Well, yeah, but then I just reset the game and
for me, it was like I had up until 2 years ago, I had one really good friend. I had some people I knew and hung out with. Mm-hmm. And then I had one, like, friend. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't really hang out with people my age. I was homeschooled.
I can relate to that.
I didn't have that. And I was perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. I was in the same boat.
But with that, I think also developed my own perspective of I don't like need anybody, and I feel like a lot of people that say that do the whole like I don't need anybody, and they like it's more unhealthy.
I know you're genuine though, because I feel the same way. Currently,
it's just being satisfied.
Oh yeah, well I'm always a quantity or quality over quantity guy, so I think currently I have like 5 friends. Mm-hmm. I have people I hang out with and people I know and people I talk to, but I would say there's you, and then there's like 3 other guys that I'm like that I consider really good friends.
Some people who know you're doing some quick math out there.
Yeah, all of my friends are like, hold on a second. Like, and I'm not saying that they're not my friends or that I don't like them. I'm just saying I've got like 4 or 5 ride or dies, like guys I know if I'm in a pinch or if I need something or if like they call me and they're like, I need you to come over right now. Like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas I think a lot of people go for quantity of friends.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. And that always makes me feel awkward, especially when I hang out with other people, you know, at college age, because they still feel like kids. It's like high school 2.0.
It is high school 2.0.
And
that's exactly what it is.
It's like
you've been to college, right? Like, have you taken classes and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just high school part 2.
But it's like, I don't know, no one talks. It's all just about stuff, and they hang out.
See, that's what I
take some pictures.
Hated about college.
But like, maybe it's also that I don't know. I've always felt very spiritually in tune my whole life, so I'm not at the point where I can just tune like that perspective out. Like, oh, I'm just going to focus on, how do I say this? Just what is happening. Where like, even if something like sounds good on paper, like I'm hanging out with people, everyone's nice. I should feel good.
Yeah. But
I can feel the vibe, whether it's people not being genuine, or it's just weird. I don't know. It's not there. There's not that connection. It's not the right ingredient.
I know what you mean. It's like the difference between me hanging out with you and having a discussion like this one-on-one, or even just watching a movie or whatever. I'm more relaxed around you because I know you're a real person. I know you're like,
not those lizard people.
Exactly. I know that you're not like, because I hang out with some people. I find this more with women, and I feel like they're hanging out with me to feel like they have accomplished something today, rather than that they actually want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had this friend for a little while. I'm not friends with her anymore, but she would take a picture every time we hung out together. And I thought, well, that's kind of nice. Yeah. And she just put it on Snapchat. Yeah. And I thought, like, okay, she's just a Snapchat person. Like, whatever. Because everybody has their thing they do. And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. I have no other friends that'll just take a picture with me, generally, unless we're at the top of a mountain or out to eat at a fancy restaurant or something.
Yeah,
or if it's my birthday, they'll take a picture of me. But, like, for the most part, my friends don't really take pictures of me. And so I thought, well, that's kind of cool. That's her little thing she does. Until I found out that when I canceled plans one day, and then she posted on Snapchat, got no picture to post today, the person canceled. And I was like, I'm on your Snapchat, right? And she was like, well, yeah. And I was like, okay, so you only want to hang out with me to take pictures with me? And she's like, yeah, what's the point of having friends if you can't show them off? And I was like, ooh. And I just kind of stopped.
That's like
talking to her.
It's like not even human anymore.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I like quality over quantity, because the friends that I do have that I hang out with the most often, or who I talk to the most often at least, when I hang out with them, it doesn't feel like that they're hanging out with me because they have to, or because they feel like they'll be a loser if they don't, or anything like that. And I can actually have real conversations with them, and we might disagree. Like this morning, I got into a comment battle, quote unquote, with one of my buddies about some Hollywood shit, like how they're not hiring like Asian actors or something like that. And I was basically, I don't want to rehash the whole argument, but he's a really good friend of mine, and we met in college, and he's a little older than I am, so he's got more experience in life. But we both came to a disagreement, but we both knew that we were trying to accomplish the same thing, and we just couldn't agree on how to accomplish that.
Yeah.
So basically, we were talking about how to stop racism, and my opinion is one thing, and his opinion is the other. But we both have the same goal, and we both recognize that. We both know that we're not racists. And so we had a disagreement, we had a discussion, and it just ended there. And it was just like, we have enough mutual respect and admiration for each other to just be like, well, we don't agree, but at least we have the same goal. And I really appreciate that with the friends that I've cultivated, because when I was in college, I would talk to people in my classes and try to make friends with them. But man, if I said one thing out of line, or we had a disagreement, it was like friendship over. Like, I'm not going to talk to you. Yeah. I'm not going to associate with you. Anyone who else associates with you, I'm going to tell them this is what you said. And
it's kind of funny how
it's like, what the fuck?
It's like being in a like a animal herd almost, or a bunch of monkeys. Like if you like break down the.
Well, we are a bunch of monkeys.
Well, yeah, but like people act like it's so civilized, but old is like I disagree with you, basically on some low level. Right. Don't think you deserve to live or breed or be near me. So I'm going to demonstrate.
I'm going to make you feel bad and cut you off from the social group.
Yeah, and I'm going to demonstrate this to as many people as I can. So hopefully they just follow the herd and do the same thing.
See, and I don't like those kinds of people. So whenever that happens in life, and it's happened to me quite a lot, I just let it happen. Because if you're dumb enough to think that because I don't think that the Democrats are always right, or Republicans are always right, then fine, go away. I don't need you.
I think a lot of that comes from also the feeling that they could be next. It's like, what's that game with the giant like balls that are like cells that swallow each other? Like Agario.
The worm game.
Okay, there is it's the same.
It's company. The same complex. Concept.
I feel like it's like that because 1 minute.
So for the listeners, there's this game where you're these worms and you're rolling around. If you hit another worm with your head, you die, and then they get to suck up all your points. But if a worm hits you with their head, you're supposed to encircle the worms. You get bigger and you get to suck up all their points. Okay, and I guess there's one with balls.
Lee, I was going to explain it. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
How's the ball one work?
Well, the ball one was the original one. It's basically you have to be larger than the other ball. And it's from any angle, and you have to completely. It's like cells. You have to completely encompass.
So you engulf them.
Yeah,
but you have to be bigger than them to engulf them.
Yes, but there's like antivirus things that if you bump into will like split you by 50% every time you hit it. So the bigger you get, the more likely you hit one of these things, and then you like and then people try to eat you. My point is it's like a dog eat dog situation, right? Basically, like you're just waiting for anyone to make any moment of weakness so you can take advantage of them, and then the moment that happens to you, you're like, oh no, and someone does it to you. And I feel like that's how it is culturally, because people do that to a person because they're worried about that happening to them.
That's cancel culture. You've just explained cancel culture.
There you go.
Well, and I don't regard those people as genuine, real human beings. To me, they're just NPCs. They're not real people, because real people have the ability to disagree. Like, so
you gotta be careful with the real people talk.
Well, what I mean is
real people.
Okay, when I say real, I'm talking about like some real shit. I'm talking about
no. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not.
They're not people, Lee.
They're subhumans. No, what I mean
they must be exterminated.
Destroy the child. Hold on, let me try that again.
Corrupt them all.
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
That was really good.
Thank you. But, no, I don't mean that they're, like, not real or they're subhuman or whatever. What I mean is they're not genuine.
Yes.
They're not real.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But, like, so I went over to my dad's house recently and we were hanging out. And we were talking about the mask thing with coronavirus, like, is it a human right to not wear a mask? Blah blah blah.
Really?
All these things.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I don't have a particular opinion. I was more picking his brain. I don't really know what to think about it. It's very confusing to me. But I'm just trying to hear different perspectives so I can kind of parse an opinion. But I was talking to him about it, and I was picking his brain, and he said something to the effect of, well, we may have to just wear masks forever from now on.
Oh, yeah.
To try and prevent all diseases.
That doesn't make any sense.
And I was like, okay, well, I don't think that that's necessary. Plus, if you're going to damage people's immune systems in the long term. And he goes, well, we could eradicate all disease. And I don't think I don't think that's entirely possible.
I think, okay,
maybe
here's the thing.
But I don't think so.
If we want to talk about the universe...
Well, hold on. That's not my point. My point is that I just basically said, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible. I think you're foolish if you think that. And he goes, well, that's fine. You could think that. And that was the end of the discussion.
Yeah.
And like we talked about something else after, but we didn't like hate each other. My dad didn't cut me off. He didn't say, well, you're an uninformed
He didn't
moron.
burn your eye off.
Yeah, he wasn't like, you fucking faggot, like get out of my house. He was just like...
well, not then at least. Not that time.
I don't think my dad's ever called me a faggot.
That's surprising for some reason.
Like... He's called me a lot of things in my life, and I've deserved it, but I don't think he's ever once called me faggot.
Like, I want to be a great...
Which is great.
I want to be a great dad someday, but I feel like I'm going to be that dad at the playground. It's like, come over here, you faggots! Like...
See, I like that word.
What?
I like that word. I like the word faggot.
I like that word.
It's great.
Faggot.
I can't say it as often as I'd like. I only say it around, like, trusted friends. I got in trouble. No, I'm serious. I got in trouble for saying that. Who says
they like... Okay, like, it's different to be like, I don't see anything wrong with it, but you're, like, talking about it like it's this pleasurable sensation.
I like saying
every time, like...
No.
Faggot.
I love to say...
Faggot.
You don't have a word
that... Faggot! Faggot!
This video is gonna be fucking taken down.
Like, what? You're the one that brought this up. Like, it's just a word to me, but you're
like the word. I like it. I think it's a great word.
You keep saying... Stop saying you like it.
You don't have a word that you like to say? You don't have a word that you just enjoy?
I know I do, but not one that, like, I have written down. Like, you take your wristwatch off and you have, like, a Post-it note under it that says faggot.
You're reading way too much into this. I'm just saying it's unfortunate that I can't say this word that I like. That's
you
all
can. You can say it right now.
And then people fucking lambast me and get angry.
Well, you deserve it.
Well, you can actually be sued if you say that word now. Oh. If you say that word to somebody, they could sue you and you have to pay damages. I'm not even kidding. You can get in legal trouble for saying that word to somebody.
I would sign on the check to faggot.
See, but then they'll just sue you again. You've just lost all your money now.
It's worth it.
No, but like...
But you could then talk to the court about how...
This is a faggy rule.
You believe... Like...
It's my spiritual belief.
It's your spiritual belief.
It's my religious right
to say this word as many times and as loudly as I want. And then you're the only guy in America who's just running around.
What religion do you believe in? My own. What is it? Faggotry. But okay. By the way, people, if you're thinking about marking this video or whatever, we're joking. This is a joke.
They're not thinking. They already did.
Yeah, probably. Don't though. Come on, don't be cunty.
Don't be a cunt, faggot.
That's another word. That's another word I love. Cunt.
Yeah.
It's so great, and it's not banned yet, so I can keep saying it.
But it's just weird to say like, I like that word. Like the way you said it's different than being.
You don't have words that when you say them, you're like, yeah, that was a good word.
Who says that about faggot?
Me, dude.
Why? It's just a word.
It's my word. I like it.
It's just like any other derogatory swear word. Like, I like.
But you don't have like a favorite swear word? Mine's definitely cunt. Faggot's a close second. Cunt's my favorite slur.
I do like cunt.
Cunt's my favorite because Americans hate it.
Yeah.
Americans are so sensitive to it. Dude, I'm an American, but like I don't care about the word.
When I was in Australia, I think I told you this. I met that German chick I hung out with the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
She was awesome, but like I was asking her like to tell me like some bad German words. And I was like, how do you say cunt? And she was really sweet, but like I loved embarrassing her the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you say it like Fotza.
Fotza? That sounds right.
Yeah, and so any time about anything, I'd be like, "Oh, look at those flowers, Fotza," or like anything at like the weirdest, like it was like saying like that's what she said jokes when you're 13, like any little thing, is and she
Fotza.
she was so embarrassed, but like that like funny embarrassed where she's like, "Stop!"
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, it was so funny. But that's my favorite foreign swear word.
Mine is... Oh, man. I used to know the Japanese swear equivalent of, like, the N-word. But I don't remember it right now. Well, no, it's not... It's not...
Okay, if this was a different podcast, I was just going to say, is it the actual
No, it's not the N-word in the sense that they're talking about black people. It's just a general insult you can say to somebody of a different race.
Yeah.
But it comes across that way.
No, I get that.
So, like, if you say it to a Chinese person and you're Japanese, that's the equivalent of calling them the N-word.
Yeah.
It's as insulting to them as the N-word is to black people in America.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the N-word. You could say it to a black person if you want, but it's just meant as a general term
Lee,
for anybody who's not Japanese.
I think we need to roll back to why you love faggot so much.
I don't love it. I just
you
like
said
the
word.
like
6 times.
Okay,
I Lee Piltz love the word faggot.
That's not at all what I said. You're putting words in my mouth.
You said I love it.
I said I love it, but
you just said I love it. We need to roll back and count how many times you said I love it. I just love faggot.
I'm going to put up a little counter on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to ding. It's going to be like, I don't know, 4 probably. But
I'm pretty sure it was like 5 times.
I don't know. I just like the word. And
there you said it again.
I just like it. It's a good word.
What? How? Why? It's just a word.
It just jives, man. Like
it just jives.
It just jives with me.
Just go with the flow,
yeah,
faggots.
Dude, I fucking love it. I'm sure you have a word that you just like to say.
Yes, but it's like something like moist. Like moist is a cool word. It like annoys the hell out of certain people.
See, and faggot's a cool word, and it annoys the hell out of people.
But moist is a neutral word.
Yeah.
Faggot is not.
I understand that. My neutral favorite word is probably like quasar. I think that's a cool word. Oh my gosh,
that would be.
It's a cool word.
Fucking nerd.
Dude, I thought it was a cool word before I even knew what it was. When I was like 5, I like read it in a book somewhere.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like a galaxy or something. I don't know.
Oh, that sounds like something 5-year-old you would do. Like, just look at some random shit in the dictionary, and then like, when can I mention this in class? And then you're like, when are we gonna study quasars? And then you're like, I'm so fucking smart. I'll show these faggots. And then like the teacher's like, I'm gonna shoot myself tomorrow.
This is math. Like, they don't even say that. They just go, this is math, you faggot. Like, that's the end of it.
This explains everything. Actually, this is a we've gone full circle.
This is a deep
your
dive.
whole thing with friendships, your parents and everything.
It's just so I can say the word quasar.
It just came from the word quasar.
The whole point of this podcast was so I could talk about quasars.
And it all started when you were a kid, and
I was 5 years old, and I was reading a book about telescopes, and I saw the word quasar,
and all the kids at school were like, "This kid's retarded."
This fucking faggot.
Okay, I have a true story though. When I was in, it was
what me reading that. Okay, well that wasn't true, but like me reading that in a book wasn't true.
No, it's a true story. Well, I don't know, Lee. I don't know with you.
I
you've got
definitely
one of those.
Read it in a book and thought it was cool. But I didn't have class, so I didn't do that. I was also homeschooled when I was a kid.
Not the whole time.
It wasn't until I got to middle school that I was in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I went to kindergarten and preschool, but and then there's homeschooling, and then I went to middle school.
This is a weird podcast.
It's just a podcast.
It's just a podcast.
This is a funny podcast. I think it's going to be great.
The first one turned out a lot better.
Either that, or I'm going to have to censor it.
No, just be.
I don't know. I don't know if the word faggot violates the community guidelines or not. So I'm going to have to look that up.
Well, no one's going to.
If it does, I have to censor it. I have to take it out.
One of our 5 viewers, 2 of them being us.
No. I can get a strike against my channel, or I can get my channel removed. Like, it's not even a viewer thing. It's literally if a YouTube personnel happens upon the video and reviews it, because they review random videos every day, even if they have no views, they could hear that and then they go, oh, cool, let's strike his channel or delete his channel. So I got to go make sure it's not a community problem.
Well, that's actually the reason for our podcast, Resistance to Existence. We're trying to get banned.
No, that's not actually the point.
YouTube authorities, the moment this channel is taken down, we will kill ourselves.
I thought we were going a different direction.
No. This is ride or die.
Did I explain the whole Resistance to Existence and why I think that's a great name for this to you?
Mm-hmm.
I think I did.
I came up with it.
You came up with the name, but I came up with keeping it and my general philosophy behind it.
I made the decision for us as host of the show, me, Lee Piltz.
No, I thought about it, and I realized it fits my philosophy really well.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
So, I probably haven't explained this to you. Resistance to Existence as a sentence fits my philosophy really well. Because I think the whole point of life is that life is trying to kill you, and your whole goal is to try not to die. So, resistance to existence. You're supposed to resist dying.
But existence doesn't mean... existence has nothing to do with death.
Yes, it does. It has everything to do with death.
Okay, no, existence means you are alive.
And then you will die.
No, what? But what are you talking about? Literally look up the definition of existence.
Yeah, existence comes to an end. It's eventual. And part of existence is dying.
Oh my god. You're taking a big leap here.
No, I'm not. You could die at any second.
No,
dude, a meteor could hit the planet right now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about in terms of the word existence.
Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking about it from a metaphysical standpoint.
No, I know, but it doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense.
No, you can say that as a philosophy.
You just think it's lame.
Detached from... No, that's not necessarily true. I'm talking about in terms of, like, using the specific word existence. Because it's like saying, what if our name was, like, Lee's Boat Fishing? And then I was like, well, the real idea of this podcast is, drowning. Because boats are in water, and there's fish.
And you could fall out and drown.
You can fall out and drown.
Okay, but you know that existence isn't forever. I'm thinking about existence as coming to terms with reality. That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
See, that makes sense, but you keep bringing up death.
Well, no, okay.
It will end.
You have to let me finish what I'm saying. So, what I mean is, you're alive. You're here right now in existence.
Am I?
Yeah. And every day that you work to bring about your ideal existence, you have to resist some form of existence to get to it. Okay, you have to fight against it.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're resist life and die.
No, what I mean is, life is hard and you're going to die. The whole point is to try and resist
Okay, that's what I thought behind the name too.
Yeah.
But then you went somewhere else.
No, I was just, that's in the general description of the channel. Like, I'm just saying that is now, it's not just a name, it's got a meaning that I ascribe to it because of you, and I was trying to thank you after I explained
Well, you're welcome.
But then you went about and decided to talk about fishing boats and how you're going to drown, so whatever.
Well, you're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
That's actually the same thing I was thinking behind it.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, we have similar philosophies, so I'm not surprised about that.
But what I was trying to say, my true story...
Go ahead, yeah, what's your true story?
About
faggots.
No, it's not about faggots. I don't have a true story about faggots. Well, I do actually.
Dude, we already talked about
it's about when I
people.
did a podcast with this guy, my
Get
roommate.
on with your fucking story. Get on with your fucking story.
He became my aunt or something.
Is she from the East Coast?
No.
How the fuck? I was doing an East Coast accent.
No, I know.
I was doing an accent.
It's because of the water. The bagels are so good.
They got water down there in Boston. Watch out. There's going to be some cars down by the park.
Oh, it's so bad.
They're selling bagels at a cart. I'm not even from fucking Boston.
It's so bad.
I hate that accent.
That wasn't even a Boston accent.
It's the worst accent. Yeah, it's a Boston accent.
That was not a proper Boston accent.
Oh, not proper. That's the shitty part of Boston.
No, Lee. Okay, Lee. That was like 10%.
That was an attempt at a Boston accent.
That was a terrible attempt.
Yeah, I know. It's not a pure accent, but I can't do that. I'm not from there.
Okay, Lee.
I can do British if you want.
No, please. Okay, have you seen the movie The Witches?
No. What's that?
You're like that kid, Bruno.
Thanks. Like, what's it about?
That lady promised me 6 chocolate something.
I would like £2 for my sandwich. Have you seen Big Ben?
You're like the fat British kid in every 80s movie. like you know when they the high school kids are going on vacation in Europe. And
they meet this British weirdo, and it's just some fat kid.
Yeah, and like everyone else has like this mystery or this real element, and you're just going around like, right there's Big Ben, you see?
That's the biggest Ben in England.
The biggest, benniest of the Bens.
And everyone's like, we got a mystery to solve, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, watch out. We've got to go to Liverpool.
Oh my god.
We'll have to ask the Beatles.
This is terrible. This is worse than the...
What's your true story? Let's get on with that.
Back to my true story.
Yeah.
So, I was in first grade, and I remember this specifically, because I had a really high reading level as a kid. Mm-hmm. Not now.
Now I'm at like a fucking second grade level.
But, okay. I had a really high... I was... tracked to be the super high achiever.
Yeah, me too.
Until I hit this brick wall.
Isn't it great how everyone's like, oh, you're going to be a genius. And
not
then
everybody. There's some people who are in Dum-Dumville their whole lives.
Well, no, but when you have a great reading level, when you're more advanced as a kid, everyone's like, oh, the adults in your life are like, you're going to be a genius. You're going to achieve great things. And then you become an adult and it's like, I don't know how to do anything.
What's a checkbook?
What is a toaster?
Well, you should already know that.
Well, what are stocks? I've been trying to figure out stocks so I can invest.
Well...
It's taken me a year, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I literally don't know what any of it is, and I've been studying it for a while. I can't figure it out.
Well, when grass gets really tall...
Oh, I think I'm studying the wrong kind of stocks. Shit. Everyone keeps talking about stocks and bonds. They might be talking about grass.
So I don't need this leather strap?
What?
Stocks and bonds.
Oh, I was thinking of bonding. Bonding with grass.
Okay.
Have you heard of those religious people who pray to grass?
Please, okay, no, we're not going down that road. Go back to my true story!
Right, well, hold on.
It's been 20 minutes.
It's been longer than that.
Story.
We're going to have to tell the true story on the next part because we're reaching the point where we can't upload past this point. It's too long. So
You're right, I'm too long.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for listening to the podcast. There's going to be another part.
No, there won't.
Yeah, there will. Jordan's going to tell his true story next time on Resistance.
If you don't hear back, I've killed Lee. I'm wearing a skin.
Shit.
All right, well, that's the podcast, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there were any sound issues or if there's, any questions or anything. We might answer you in the next podcast or something. So, yeah, just let me know how you're enjoying it, if you are, and if there's anything that needs fixing. All right, hope you're having a great day, and peace out.